TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. In the previous episode, we went to the security guard office, gained access by Chief Policeman Gant himself. And then by the time we get to the security office, we talked to Marshall on what happened to the SL6. And then we went into the evidence room, we talked to Gumshoes. And then he was telling us on what happened to that fateful day where it was Edward's big old case. Today's episode right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go to the High Prosecutor's office to see Edgeworth right here, right now. If you're hyped for today's episode, make sure to hit that like button and support is really appreciated, channel, as we continue on to this investigation. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. You again! Ah, Gus, my apologies. Oh, it's you! Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? They're standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Ah, it's you. Yes, the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? Precisely. All the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh, wait, wrong voice. Oh, yes, he brought me some information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him as I forgot to put on the timer. What the heck? We're somewhere like 2 minutes in or so. Not really. Yeah, probably. Alrighty then, let's talk. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Alright then, time to present some evidence. Right here, right now, we gotta show him this ID card record. Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less? Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here at the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief has never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Can I ask you what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence screwdriver added to the court record. Stop it, as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the case. Alrighty then. What do we got? Let's see. Screwdriver. Extremely thin grub. If it has nothing to do with the case, can you talk anything else? There's nothing else for me to talk about. You said there's nothing else to talk about, right? Then let's ask him about... Does he know anything about this? No, you probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. A bad memory, he's talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gott. That wacky old crew was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then? It was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you got nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police under the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't...
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
You're still working on that scientific investigation?
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminal testing fluid, huh? Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for a better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprints files for everyone involved.
Thanks! How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well?
So this is how it all started when we got the luminal testing, we got more investigation, so it all started with here.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Alrighty then, this is getting shorter than I thought. Maybe I should add the previous episode, but now it's 37 minutes more, so... We're probably gonna be a really, really short episode, so move. Underground parking lot. Okay, move. Next up, police department. Move. Next stop, security guard office. Next stop, move. Evidence room. Finally, thank you. After a few clicks. Our investigation turned up with a suspicion handprint.
Hearing this blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Alrighty then.
Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger.
Alrighty then. The thumb.
Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
How do you do that?
Just touch the screen. See?
Ah, it looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the
I cannot. How do I do that?
You just blow with your breath. Imagine you're blowing out of the candles of a birthday cake. Wow, that looks fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up to your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away with the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
Okay, there's another button for blowing this. I know there is. I tried it before. Spread the powder below. What the heck am I doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna do this.
Because we do not have the mic option, so there has to be... I think I tried... Okay, let's move on to a different... Oh, we just pressed the B button then. Hold up. Yeah, this is gonna be complicated. Examine. We just pressed the B button. It's gotta be the X then. X or 1.
Yo, are you serious that we have to blow it? Oh, great. This is gonna be great. I don't think I can proceed on without blowing it, so I have to look up the controls on it because I have nothing on this. This is an emulator right now. This ain't no 3DS, and I do not how to, let's see, up, right, down, right, blah, blah, blah. Debug, DN left, disabled, R shift. Oh, great. Let's see, hotkey configuration. CPU module, fast forward, frame advance, increase speed, microphone disabled. Alrighty then, let's just give it... Is there anything I use for E? If not, then we'll go. There you go, that makes perfect. Yeah, it's an emulator, so you have to use what we can about this. Spread the powder and blow. So like this.
Ah, you did it! You found one!
But this looks like nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
It think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here!
Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look at the other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker door again closely.
Alrighty then.
It seems there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well.
Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Outside the blood? What the heck? Alrighty then. Time to like just remotely press our handy dandy mouse. Just all over the place. At least this... Oh, why did I press Skype? At least there's no limit to this. I guess that's why there's like more than 1 day.
Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling.
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet? This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in a fingerprint. And not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right. Oh, great. Oh, great.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints.
Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was?
I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprints and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would most likely find on this evidence locker?
I got nothing, girl. That has nothing to do with the case? I don't know. I'm trying to make a random guess right now. They're two completely different. No matches found.
No match.
Come on, how am I supposed to guess whose they are?
Isn't it obvious? The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places. That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. They most likely belong to the owner of this evidence locker.
I was just thinking, if you're so sure who it is, why don't you match me the fingerprints?
Mr. Wright, I was doing this for your benefit so you learn.
Fine, fine. Alrighty then. Forget Gumshoe. Forget him. That has nothing to do? Yeah, I'm just gonna make a big old guess right now. Yo, if I knew this would make things much easier, that'd be great. Please don't tell me it's homeboy here. Oh god. Why?
Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. What was the point of us going that one? Alrighty then. So we had to spray that thing again. Card record. Luminol. Spray. Oh, never mind. It's right there. Alrighty then. Card record. Where's that powder? Where's that powder? Never mind. I guess we had to spray first. No. Stay with me now. Spray. Just when I thought it'd be a short episode, we have to do a lot of stuff. Hello, I'm trying to do something here, but we're not doing nothing. Okay. Examine. This is where we got a luminol. Right?
Right. There was a handprint here. Okay, let's try this.
Whatever. There go our eyes sparkling again. Check for prints. Okay, let's go check.
That's spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only end up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right.
So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of high hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me!
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Zoom in on that, please! That weren't wiped away by the hand? I don't know what you're talking about, but we're gonna go here. Because it did say, or we cannot examine it for no reason. Literally, we can examine nothing. No. What are we examining? Select which finger to examine. What the heck? How can you see that, Smudge? I'd rather not know. Even with that zoom in thing. Like I could see a little smudge, but it doesn't even look like a hand. Oh, were they supposed to be? Okay, that makes sense. Hold up. That makes sense. Alright then, who looks more like the description right here? Not Gumshoe. Not Gaunt. You? I'm just going by image analysis right now. No data? No data? No data? I'm just doing a comparison right now. Why? Hey, these fingerprints,
Whose are they? Is it someone I know?
It's Officer Marshall.
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall?
Fingerprints added to the court record.
That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
Emma? He These are decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction, the blood, and the fingerprints are in the same place. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain? But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence.
I don't believe it.
And with that, we'll end today's episode right here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll begin Trial 2 another day. Make sure that like button, comments, comments. If you're new, beer like a secret from it, the struggles that exceed me, and I'm signing out.